Do you think dating, knowing what we know now, do you think dating prepare you for marriage, or you really can't be prepared for marriage? It's something you just have to go through.
It does. It really does. But
I
it can
don't think.
really,
I don't
it
think
can
dating.
really,
I don't think
it
they
can,
prepare you for marriage.
well, I mean, any interaction with other human beings compared or any commitment you embark upon, like school, prepares you for marriage. Working a job long term prepares you for marriage. So how does dating not prepare you for marriage?
Dating shows you more about yourself because you're the common denominator.
And knowing more about yourself prepares you for marriage.
But what
So
I'm saying
I
is,
don't
as
understand.
far as marriage is concerned, though, with dating, when things go crazy, you can just leave. You can just bail, right?
Yes.
You can bail.
But that's one
Matter of
similarity.
fact,
I mean,
in dating, you can deal with somebody and never be intimate with them at all. You can just be dealing with them, but at the same time, it's a fail safe. I can bail at any time.
yes. So
Marriage
okay,
marriage is different because you're living with this person and you guys are learning about, and you got to be able to accept the good and the bad of dealing with a person. Dating, you don't have to do that.
yeah. So you learn.
Dating, you can just deal with somebody with just the good stuff because when they're not doing it, you're not dealing with them. You can say, "Nah, you're gonna sit on the bench until I get the production back."
So you're
This is a
focusing,
little different.
like right now, you're focusing on the differences and what doesn't apply
Right.
In marriage and doesn't apply in dating. But you can do that with anything. I take the parts that help me with marriage.
But you learn about yourself, though. That's what I'm saying. You learn
I
about
take
yourself.
everything I learned about myself and apply that to my marriage. You know what I mean? I know what I am and I know what I'm not going to deal with. And
see, that's the thing.
In the dating process of dating your wife, dating my wife, or whatever, you got to know that about yourself. I'm not dealing with this, and I'm not committing to a person that does this. So we will never make it to marriage, and that keeps you out of these situations where you hadn't had sex with your wife in 6 months. She ain't took a bath in 2 weeks. I don't think I can deal with this. You know what I mean? She stank. Or you don't take that.
I'm talking about like just being committed and dealing with a person long term. You don't really do that with dating, like working through situations together. Dating is kind of not like that, but unless you build like that. But I'm saying most time in marriage, though, working through a tough situation like a disagreement together to get to the other side.
Yes,
dating, you can just say I'm not.
It doesn't apply, but it's a lot of things in dating that do apply to marriage. Now you focus on the things that don't apply.
I don't think so. And then if you go into marriage with the mindset that
now you're saying you're adopting a whole dating mindset into a marriage mindset. Step for step, marriage and dating, you're trying to put them together. No, that wouldn't work. I agree with you. That doesn't work.
Okay.
So some things you can take from it, and some things you like I say, the knowing yourself part. Take that whole piece of knowing yourself and apply it to your marriage. I learned myself in dating, and I'm gonna apply this.
Here's the deal, though. Some of the stuff that you learn from dating may not work in marriage, though, because it's a whole nother dynamic.
Yes, correct. But learning yourself is going to apply. We're going to take just that piece. That may be the only piece we take.
Because think about this, we was talking about with sex or whatever. When you're dating, it may be at a super high. I mean, you scoring touchdowns like Randy Moss. I mean, but in marriage, it may not be like that because you both are working. Then you have kids. You can definitely ain't gonna be like that when you have kids. You trying to score whenever you on a slant route. You trying to score. Yeah, ain't no score. However you can get it, I'll run it in. I'll run it. Yeah, but in dating it's different because you don't have those things holding you back. You know what I'm saying?
But that's when, like, okay, I think about this. So when you're dating, do you like each other more? Because you can have sex of, like this is a person you only call for sex, you know what I mean? And then you get married, and then you don't have sex with the same person. You just basically was using primarily for
See,
sex.
that's the thing, right? This is the difference between like dating and marriage. Like dating, dudes do that. They'll call it just for that. But in marriage,
And then you marry the same person, and you don't want to have sex
no,
with
no,
them.
no, well, no. That's why if you marry the same person, it'd probably be weird because it's like now you expecting the same expectations when you was dating that you're married. You know what I'm saying? Expectations are different in dating and marriage. You don't think so?
You can't. No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I hate to use a sex thing, but
No, we don't have to use that thing. You can use something that's not you.
But like, you can't expect. It's an unrealistic expectation to expect to have sex with your wife.
No. I'm talking about the frequency. I'm talking about the frequency. Like when you young and you're in your 20s or something, you thinking you're gonna do it every day. To think that you're gonna get married and do it every day when you're married. That's what I'm saying. Unrealistic.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
That's what I'm saying.
Being a living.
When you're dating, because check this out. When you're dating, you may do it every day, but it may be with somebody different though. It's not gonna be with the same person. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true for some people, and I understand that. I mean, are you supposed to not want to have sex with your spouse?
No, what I'm saying is when you're married to somebody and everything's combined and you're sharing and you're managing a household, you're not doing that when you're dating. Most of the time when you date, you live in a separate house.
Like, I mean, you sleep in the same bed every night.
When you dating? Are you talking about
when you're married? Like, so okay, when you're dating, you can go 3 or 4 days without seeing a person. Yeah. You're telling me you can go 3 to 4 days without seeing somebody, but you can have sex with them more than a person that's
no. What I'm saying is
sleep in the same bed with.
Listen what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have so much going on when you're married than when you're dating. When you're dating, you're not helping nobody paying bills on themselves. I know I didn't. I'm not helping you managing your bills if I'm dating you, right? That's your responsibility.
So it should be harder dating because you're managing your whole life by yourself, no help.
No, it should be.
No, wait. They're managing your whole life by themselves, no help. Some of them even have kids, but they can find time to be with you, have sex with you, and all this with frequency. Now they're living in your house. You're helping them pay all their bills, and they can't find the time to sleep in the same bed with you.
What I'm saying is, even if y'all had the same mindset that y'all want to, man, when you have married with kids, you have so much. I like playing Street Fighter. You got so much energy in your bar, right? Sometimes you can go through a day and you got that much energy left in your bar. You're gonna waste it. You're not wasting, but you're gonna burn the rest of the energy. You're gonna go to sleep so you can go work the next day. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna struggle through the day. I'm gonna go for 2.
But that's what I'm saying though. Dating is a whole other thing. It's different, man. It's a different dynamic, man. Yeah, and then dealing with a person, like when you're married to a person, being able to accept who they are. Like with dating, you don't really have to accept who a person are.
I mean, I'm gonna break this down. I'll break the little thing, but you don't have to do that in marriage. People find out they're unhappy. You know what I mean? Traditionally, divorce is not an option, but it is real. It's something that happens to people a lot. You know what I mean? If you feel like you can't take whatever, you know what I mean? Broken homes exist. You know what I mean? Co-parenting exists. Some people, it's not an option. You know what I mean? But it will happen. You know what I mean? So
no, but that's the thing with marriage, though. Like two people, you have to deal with a person as a leader. You have to deal with the person. I'm not saying like you got like a negative thing, but there is when you're the leader of a house, when you're married, not dating, there is that common one. You have to deal with that person. Like I'm not saying it's kind of like football. It's actually like playing football. And I'm telling you, it's actually like playing football.
You can be released and you can be traded. Even though you got the franchise tattooed on your arm, y'all won a ring together. You know what I mean? Y'all can be ex-teammates just like you was teammates. But you do have to work a lot of stuff out. You know what I mean?
Yes. You don't have to do that when you date. You don't have to work nothing out when you date. You don't have to work anything out.
Well, I mean, commitment is commitment, right? So if you want something Like if you want a degree, you got to go to school 4 years. You got to go, and ain't no shortcut to it. And it's like this with marriage. It's just stuff. If you don't decide you don't want the marriage, you don't get the degree, you don't get the ring, you can just, it's over. Get divorced, throw it away. But if you want that degree, you want that successful marriage, you got to still work for it. Anything you want, you got to commit to it. You got to work things out. Things aren't gonna go your way. You know what I mean?
Dating is not a commitment. Dating is not a commitment, right?
I mean, it's the beginning of one. It's starting the process. You know what I mean? You still a temp. You ain't got no paper signed. You know what I mean? You're on practice squad. You know what I mean? You can work your way up to a position. You know what I mean? Because marriage starts somewhere. Courtship starts somewhere. You can always leave during the courtship process as well. But if we all running away.
Because there are things that, like I say, when you're dealing with another person, like forgiveness and helping each other through certain times, like where I'm weak at, my wife is stronger at. So she compliments me in that. But when you're dating, most time you don't even think about that kind of stuff. Like like my wife's strengths, how do I increase, help her, increase in that, and how does she help me increase in my strengths? We're building towards something. And of course it's not gonna always be peach green. But when you're dating though, you don't have that commitment. Go ahead.
How do you get married? Like you're saying you start dating. Dating is step 1, marriage is step 5. All right. So you gotta start somewhere.
I think before you get to this person, when you see this woman that you're looking at, you have to do some vetting and see before you even get to date, is this a franchise player, right or wrong?
I mean, how do you know that?
You said what?
How do you know, like before?
How does a college know that this player is worth bringing in for a scholarship?
So recruit, right? So
yes,
dating to me is recruiting.
You said what?
Dating to me is recruiting. I mean, that's my fact finding.
But I think courtship.
I'm not talking to somebody in Facebook.
But courtship, courtship is figuring out this person's ready for marriage. I don't think it's the same thing.
It's the exact same thing to me.
It's not to me. Because I've been with I'm gonna say a lot of girls to give myself away, but I've been with girls and it was nowhere near courtship. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Matter of fact, I'll tell you.
My step 1 is the same with everybody.
From 2001, probably until I met my wife in my 20s, no courtship. Wasn't even on my mind. Came to conquer.
I think my step 1 is my step 1.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody. Because I count in order. I do things in order. I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Everybody do things in order, but before you get to the steps, is this person? That's
your step 1.
It's for sure. For sure.
So, that's my step 1. So, that's what I'm saying. You get married, marriage is step 5. You have to start at step 1.
Right.
Your step 1 is just different from mine.
That's true. Definitely.
But the step 5 is the same. You know what I mean? Like my brother Nick, his steps is crazy. You know what I mean?
I'll be saying the same thing. You get married with the idea, I'll go through whatever for this person, but if I'm giving with no return, all right, I'll show you. That's funny. I think you have to make sure, does the other person have the same thing? And a lot of times, in my opinion, do people ask that while they're in courtship, or do you find out after you get married that the person not thinking like that? And you
that's a great question. So in courtship, they can stand behind these words and these verses or whatever, and then when you start the game, everybody suit up and stay. People don't do what they say when they get hit. That first hit, you act different than you. The paper said that I'm going to do this, and she right about that. But The paper said, I'm going to do this when this happens. So when I get hit, I'm going to shed the block and I'm going to keep my head up and my eyes in the backfield. But that hit you harder than you thought. And you want to call a timeout. I quit. I don't want to do this. This ain't me. This ain't it. So people react differently when they get hit. So all that stuff they said in courtship.
Yeah.
They said what they was gonna do. Now it's hard.
You want to know the difference, though? You want to know the difference? Because everybody get hit hard, but it's about what you agree on. Are we on the same page? That watch this. Even if we get hit hard, we both agree on the Bible, even when it's uncomfortable, that this is gonna solve the problem.
We agree a lot of stuff, but when I'm like I've been shot at or been shot around.
Yeah.
People say we're gonna stay together, but when the gunshot is going, everybody running a different way.
Yes. Can you admit that we can identify that though, right?
You think you can? Them shots go off. It's different. I tell my son, I got him. Daddy ain't never left you, never forsake you. I've always been here for you. But when his dog come running at him and he's standing beside me, he gonna try to run or jump, and I'll pick him up and make sure he's all right. But I told him I was gonna be there.
Right.
But it's hard to trust somebody that ain't God, and sometimes it's hard to trust God when you're really scared because you're gonna run. You know what I mean? And old boy didn't want to get out of the boat when Jesus said, "Come here too." So
I think you can identify. But I probably dealt with enough girls where I could kind of see like a lot of times.
Not even women, just people.
Yeah, people, sure.
When they get hard, you gonna go what you know. When you like broke, you gonna like, hey, you gonna make like old wood wife. You know what I mean? She went to OnlyFans. When times got stressful, she went back to what she knew. She agreed to not do all this stuff, but man, I can make a couple $1,000s like that. I'm gonna do what I do.
But I watched Vlad TV interview, right? You know what's interesting? He said that he met her at the after party, right? Mm-hmm. Went to a Grammy after party or something. He said they hung out and they talk about it, said let's do it. But I wonder, did he have those conversations or were they having so much fun? You gotta have those uncomfortable conversations. I'm telling you do. Yeah. Okay.
I think they did. But
talk is
cheap. No, talk is cheap. We weren't there. I've had conversations myself.
Right.
Those conversations, it's like, Mike, what you gonna do when you get a concussion? Well, the Bible told me this and this and that. When you get a concussion, everything changed. Like you thought you was gonna be able, hey, I'm gonna do concussion protocol and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. When you get hit and it shakes you, it's different. You know what I mean? When your soul gets shook, it's different. You're gonna try to go back to the instruction manual, but you lost the ability to read. When I had my stroke, I lost the ability to talk. I didn't account for losing the ability to talk or see. I thought I was gonna do this when it happened, but I never not been able to talk. You know what I mean? Or see or spell or use my hands in a certain way. Now I did use certain skills and tools that I kept my faith and I stayed around.
You condition. You use what you condition yourself with, right?
Yeah.
So can you condition yourself with the Bible? Not church, not people. We talking about just the Bible.
Yeah.
Before you get to the concussion, just like in football, they say at some point you're gonna get tired, but then the skills gonna take the foundation. The fundamentals gonna take over. So can you have fundamental from the Bible?
Yes, you can.
And can you identify fundamental? Like when a person plays football, you can say he got fundamentals. There's difference between talent and fundamentals. Like he got the fundamentals down.
Yep.
And that's all I'm saying. Yeah.
And it's easy to stay fundamentally sound when everything's going good. Even when you get tired, you can fall back on your fundamentals and that'll make things easier.
Yeah.
But when that concussion comes, like we all been hit hard, but we ain't never necessarily. Not all of us have had a concussion. And those hits are different. And they say, you don't even know which way is up.
Yeah.
And you're telling me what you're going to do when you don't know which way is up. It's insane trying to say we're going to have a conversation, and when you don't know which way is up, you think about this, man, I don't even know which way is up. I can't even think right now. And then sometimes we end up judging people when they're in these situations like this. They didn't know it was going, they knew it was going to be hard, but they didn't know it was going to be this hard. You know, that's why God grants us grace. Because you said you was going to do this, but you got hit and you did something different. That's why God grants us grace. And we have to have grace with our partners and things like that.
Right.
As well.
But that's what I'm saying. There are things in the Bible, though, if you actually get hold to, like Proverbs and stuff like that, that the wisdom will help you through those things. You might not have gotten to it yet in life, but the wisdom is there. It just depends on who you want to use it.
I knew I was going to get hit, have a car accident in my life. You know what I mean? But when it happened, it was different.
You said what?
I knew I was going to get in a car accident in my life. I knew it was going to happen. But when it happened, it was different. You know,
sure.
I did what I was supposed to do, but it sure felt different than what I read about.
Yeah. I mean, just then, like say, I don't know, maybe something with me, just foresight, man. I've always been big on foresight.
Yeah,
right?
yep. Some things I saw coming.
They're not having a pop.
Huh? Some things I saw coming still felt different when it happened.
It still felt different, but it's like, I don't know. You should think about both scenarios, good and bad, though. You know what I'm saying? Not just one way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's some good, some situations I thought was going, like, I'm watching them happen, and the result turned out better, unexpected, but better. Yeah. You know what I mean? Than I thought, and God helped me through with that blessing.
Yeah, I look at it like this, right? Like, you think about marriage, right? I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know I'm gonna forgive. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like, but dating is maybe different. You be like, if it happens, I'm done. I'm out because I'm not tied to you. But when you talking about raising a family and stuff like that, you know, I mean, everybody don't think like that. I'm just telling you, like, say,
but no, I mean, it's boundaries are healthy. It's okay to say if this happens, I'm not going to be forgiven. I'm going to have to move on from this place, or I'm going to have to do this or that. Boundaries are good and healthy to have, you know, but because God got boundaries as well, you know what I mean? So
yeah. But yeah, I don't think dating. I don't know. Maybe for me, I'm talking about for me, dating it didn't prepare me for marriage. I actually had to.
I mean, like, your purpose for dating was completely different than other people. Some people are dating to get married. They're looking for the person they want to marry. You never dated with a purpose other than dating. You're dating with the purpose of dating.
Because I thought there was two different things, like dating and marriage.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I'm doing courtship, you know, in the mix in my dating, you know what I mean? Because everybody's got a different selection process, you know what I mean? So this is a part of my selection process. You said, you know, you're dating and you will never get out of the dating bracket. You know what I mean? Yeah. You had any person you dated never had any hope of graduating out of that. That's all they had for the rest of, you know, I dated you, that's all we're going to do.
Nope, didn't show me nothing different.
You know, I mean, even if they did, you wasn't open to, this is a position with a cap on it, and you will never let them get out of that cap. This is, you only can go to level 2. You know what I mean? You doing level 5 work on this level 2, but I can't promote you no matter the work you do. But that's you. But I mean, that's always been you. You know what I mean? You got boxes, you know what I mean? Your lunch tray, the food don't touch. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can never get out of the main course tray. You can never get out of the side dish tray. And that's fine.
Yeah, I don't like my macaroni and cheese touching the greens. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and that's completely fine. You know what I mean? You know, I don't like that either. I don't like juice touching my bread. But you know, we can put the rice and the chicken together, and you know what I mean.
You see, my wife said you married a goat, and God had to turn me into a sheep. Well, my wife said act like Phil Jackson. That's what my wife said. She said you act like Phil Jackson.
You know, I think you turned him into a sheep and helped him follow God. So thank you for that, Ashley.
No, I don't think I'm a sheep, man. I thought I was, but I think God's showing me some different things, man.
Yeah, I mean, the more you follow him, the more you're able to lead. So you know what I mean. So,
but yeah, man. Then another thing you think about, like say expectations. Do you think this is a game like do people they don't tell you what they expect because they don't want you to tell them what you expect of them? Like if I tell you, Jay, I expect this, now you can tell me now, Mike, I expect this. Do you people don't talk about it because they don't want somebody to tell them what they expect of them?
Yeah, I mean, so they live in their safety. I'm not, having demands or high expectations of you, so you shouldn't have them of me.
Yeah.
But, I'm still got my expectations. You know what I mean? But it's only a problem when you think the person is not going to go with your expectations. If you think they are, you wouldn't have a problem saying, "Hey, I expect this," or "I expect that."
Yeah.
So sometimes you already given a person a certain amount of grace or a certain amount of responsibility. Like we just dating, but I'm still gonna protect you when we out. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna provide for this date. She didn't even have to say that, but there's something I brought to the table. You know what I mean?
But can you pick up on?
When you're meeting somebody's expectations without them asking, I think that's a problem too, because
that's assuming, right?
That's a path. So when you don't meet the expectation, that's unmet expectation. Well, you were doing everything else right. You know what I mean? How do you don't know this? I'm like, well, I was just getting lucky. You know what I mean? So
because that's the thing. How can you meet a person's expectation when you don't even know them? That's the thing people don't realize. Like, how can I meet you? You never told me. I don't know what your expectations are.
You're playing your game. You know what I mean? Me as a man, this is what I bring. You know what I mean? And since they're satisfied with what you bring, they assume that you'll be satisfied with what they bring naturally. But I got different expectations. You know what I mean? And it's so hard, especially when you like somebody sometimes, to say, "Hey, I want more of this," or "I don't like this. This makes me feel uncomfortable." Setting those boundaries like early, you know what I mean? It's not right. It's kind of like, everything is so fun, but I gotta say, I don't like it, or I really like that. Can I have some more of it? I like words of encouragement. I like, whatever your love language is,
But yeah, man. I was gonna ask you about some players I had just thought about. Forgot that fast. But yeah, man. So you still think dating can prepare you for marriage though? Before we go about it, you still think so?
I mean, well, my process, is different. Like I want to. It's like kind of like interview, recruiting, things like that. I don't want to. I think a lot of people vilify dating. You know what I mean? It's like some sinful worldly act that we're doing, but that goes. It's a part of my courtship. Meeting you, because I don't, I see you at Walmart, I gotta approach you, and I kind of conversate with you, you know what I mean?
I don't think it's the dating though. I don't think it's the dating. I just think it's the having sex before marriage. It convolutes things.
Yeah,
I think that's the problem is. I think that's the part that's vilified. I don't think the dating is vilified. I think that's the part that's vilified. Because a lot of times, man, you do it and you plan the actions like you're married, then you realize you're not. He's like realize how much time was wasted.
And then your feelings, your feelings, your expectations, you know what I mean? And it feels wrong. You feel really hurt. And then if you did things the right way, you could avoided that hurt. But and that's also a thing like the magical fix, right? You know what I mean? So you date somebody for 2 years, don't have sex with them until you get married, and then expect your sexual chemistry to be on point. Expect your sex drives to match some magical way. You know what I mean?
And then it didn't do that. It didn't do that when you was dating. You had to work into that though, right?
I mean, no. I mean, I'm like, I didn't have like we were dating for 2 years, didn't have sex.
No, I'm saying, but I'm talking about like when you're dating, you have sex, you still have to work on it though, right?
Yeah, but then you can see like, well, this ain't working out. Like we don't have chemistry. We don't like if you have sex.
God. That's the bailout. That's easy. That's
like, okay, I'm bailing
one
out.
of the best plays. See, you sound like an NFL owner. See, you sound like an NFL. That's what NFL owners say. You know, we brought him in for the practice to workout. We brought him into the practice squad. He didn't quite run the 40 that we wanted. He did everything good. He just didn't quite run the 40 that we wanted. So now we're gonna have to.
Okay. So when do you get divorced? Like so.
I'm not getting divorced. I ain't no.
Not you. I mean, like when does a person like okay, we just gonna keep like this, sex is terrible. It's not what we thought. We have sex once every 3 months, and it's terrible. This person doesn't believe in showering or birth control, whatever the thing is. Y'all can't really get about like so you're gonna like did God ordain you to live unhappy with this man that has erectile dysfunction or this woman that has a weird sex drive? So that's God's will for you to not have sex for the rest of your life or have sex once a year for the rest of your life?
What do the vows say when you at the altar?
Now, I mean, okay, but what if you don't feel those vows? Like, like your body is because no. Your body is supposed to become your wife's, right? And your wife's body is supposed to become yours or whatever. And you're not supposed to deny your husband and wife, blah, blah, blah. But what if you don't feel that? You read the words, but you don't feel them. Every time that man come in the room, it's like a molester. Like he's going to touch you or he's going to kiss you or he's going to hug you and you be like, ugh. Or every time your wife put on a bun, you want to throw up in your mouth. Like how long do you supposed to deal with it? I mean, I don't know.
You see, okay, two things. The vows based on feelings?
So no, they're not. So I agree with you. So we go with the vows, even though we don't feel like it. You know what I mean? We got the Sahara Desert down there.
Okay.
And we're gonna call our boy with the jelly to come figure this problem out. You know what I mean? I don't know. Hey, I don't know how long you're supposed to deal with it.
But that's the thing, right? Vows are not based on feelings, and that's the difference between dating. Because dating, you can bail out. Marriage, you got to work through it. You got to figure out how to work through it. You got to figure out how do you work through it.
So 5 years?
You said what?
How long? 5 years? 6, 17 years?
Once again, vows in the Bible. It don't have terms on it. We put terms on stuff.
Oh, no. So are you telling me God doesn't care about your feelings?
I'm not saying that, boy. But
I mean,
the thing is, you have to factor your feelings in before you go down the aisle and say the vows. No, you got to factor it in.
But you thought, you know what I mean? The sex was gonna be
like
Snow White.
See, this is the thing about marriage people don't understand. This is what I'm trying to tell you. When you cross over and you say the vows and you cross over, you got to get.
You said you were supposed to work this out before marriage.
No, I'm saying even in marriage, there are things when you're dealing with another person, you committed to them, you're gonna have to work through. That's what I'm saying. Even when you're married, dating, you don't have to work through those kind of things.
But like, so how long you gonna work through the sandpaper?
You said what?
How long you gonna work through the sandpaper? I mean, it's
like playing Tetris. I mean, it's like playing Tetris, man. How do you got to make it fit, bro? You got to figure it out.
I mean, hey, look.
I'm telling you. I'm just saying. You give me. I'm telling you, it's a hard level of Tetris. Everybody.
But you're telling me, I don't feel this. God doesn't care about my feelings, or He cares, but the word is
I'm not a big feeling person though. I'm more of a logical person. I'm not the big feeling, because if you go out feeling, I mean your feelings change.
Guess what? Exactly. So I'm not a necessarily feeling person either. But you're marrying a woman that I'm marrying a woman. I mean, you married a woman as well. But,
I know what you're saying.
But and she feels like different, you know what I mean? And she knows the word, but
Okay.
she doesn't
You
feel
see
them.
what he said right here? Being equally yoked is real.
But how do you figure that out?
Now, here's the thing
Yeah.
about here's the thing about leadership, right?
Oh, so you're gonna
Well,
lead? You gonna lead her to witness? Okay.
no. Listen to what I'm saying. Leadership. You have to figure out what is the root of the issue. Sometimes people don't want to do that because there's a lot of work involved, and you may find out stuff that you don't want to know when you get into the root of an issue.
Yeah, I mean,
And when you're equally yoked with somebody, if you see two ox on a yoke together, the old ox is a little bit stronger, even though the young ox trying to go to the side, it can't because it can't move the yoke because the old ox keeping everything in line.
I understand that.
Yeah.
So sometimes, and it's the thing with being equally yoked. Sometimes you're spiritually on the same page, financially on the same page. You know what I mean?
It takes work to be on the same page, and it takes work.
No,
Man.
I mean like when it equal, like some things really come natural. We're same religion, same spiritual. Now it just lined up. You know what I mean? Because you wouldn't be with each other if it didn't. Some stuff just lined up. Some stuff you got to work a little harder on. But we've been working on the same issue for 7 years.
But see, here's the thing, though.
Therapy and everything.
Can you get to the why, though? That's the part. And sometimes it may take time. Sometimes people don't want to tell you the why. But you got to be able to get to the why. Like, why? Like, why is it that you don't want to forgive? I'm not trying to judge them, but I'm just saying, like, as a leader guy, how do you get to the why, to the root of the issue? Like, what's the root? You can see the tree, but the root may go so deep.
But a lot of people think when you get to that why and you get to that end of the road and you open that treasure chest with the why in it, sometimes that why isn't pleasant or an acceptable thing. This is the end. This is the root. We dug it up. This is unacceptable.
What's unacceptable?
Whatever the root is, whatever caused the issue or whatever. You know what I mean? Sometimes
the thing that I had to learn, I'm just saying for me, I had to learn is everybody processes stuff differently. You know what I'm saying? My wife don't process stuff the same way that I do. So I had to understand, how to talk to her in a way where it makes sense, but we can be on the same page and work it out without it, being some kind of atomic bomb about to go off. You know what I'm saying? So that's the learning part about marriage that you won't do. And I know I didn't do it dating anyway, but you have to learn that kind of.
And I think sometimes in marriage, you just got to live in your unhappiness and know that the unhappiness is a part of the process. Being frustrated every day is a part of the process until you get where you're going. And I mean, hopefully it'll be all right, so you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that in dating. You know what I mean? If you're unhappy with dating, I think you need to leave.
I think happiness is like what is your happiness, or a person, not you, but I'm saying a person happiness based on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and happiness is a feeling anyway, too. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we don't live in feelings.
Yeah. More about consistency and being consistent. But yeah, man. I like this discussion though, man. You know what we're trying to get to, man. Trying to find it on camera, man. But God, this is what we do. We don't hate each other. This is what we do. We debate about this kind of stuff all day. This is what we do. I think this is the first time we probably did it on camera, but this is the kind of stuff we do, guys. We're gonna be laughing at each other later. It's pretty funny.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, man, because I was thinking about that though. I was like, do dating prepare you for marriage? I'm glad to hear your perspective. I was like, dating prepare you for marriage? Like, I don't think you do, but it seems like it would be more successful. Marriage would be more successful if dating prepared you for marriage too. It just seems like it would be way more successful. But I don't know.
I think people, when you get, married to us, people don't take it as seriously as they're supposed to. It's just an extension and it's another thing that you can get out of. But I'm not trying to be in front of my friends, family, grandma, grandpa, and just diss the person in 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think sometimes though the role, it depends on the people's mindset, like the roles and stuff like that. Like, if you do you want this dude to lead you? Are you going to follow this dude's leadership? You know what I'm saying? Or do you understand what you're dealing with Because sometimes, you know, you can marry the wrong husband and you're not realizing like he was like this when you met him. You know what I'm saying? You know, just marriage probably wasn't gonna change that trait. You know, a person traits ain't gonna really change. You know what I'm saying? Person natural traits and some tangible things you got to understand. That's why you got to identify those traits before you start, you know, thinking about marriage. But you know, I don't know. Like you think about like Gabrielle Union.
Stuff like, well, her house messy. I don't like. She put the toilet paper on the sink and don't put it on the roll, and that still you married her, and it's still frustrating you 10 years later. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, you know,
My wife said that. That's pretty honest. I ain't think she'll tell you that, but women's bodies are complex and emotional states dictate reactions. Emotion is the root cause of many issues for women. Wow, that's pretty okay.
So, but like, exactly. So, is she supposed to swallow her emotions and well, the word said I got to do this. I'm going to do this, even though my emotions don't feel this way. You know what I mean? He's presenting this medicine too harshly for me to accept, and I'm supposed to just take it because he's my whatever, you know what I mean, my leader, my things. I'm supposed to, you know, submit to him. He's providing, he's protecting, he's a good father, this and that, but I don't feel this way. You know what I mean? So my feelings don't matter, you know what I mean, in this point, or her feelings don't matter at this point. You know, and I mean, that's the thing, you know what I mean? And being a man, we're task oriented or logic oriented. Well, I check this box, this box, this box. I need this box. I need you to give me this box because I've checked all these boxes. You know what I mean? You know, but you know, like I say, woman, like sometimes we got emotional men. The woman say, I check this box, check this box. You need to be doing what you need to be doing. But like you said, you're not as emotional. Feelings really don't matter when it comes to the word. Feelings change.
My feelings anyway, yeah, don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but you know what I mean? It's two people. You know what I mean? In a marriage, you know what I mean? I'm taking this whole thing logically, and she's taking it emotionally. And I'm saying you're duty bound to do this or that. The word said you're supposed to do this and that for me if I do this and that for you. And it's like, well, I feel like this transactional. Well, your feelings are null and void. You know, God didn't take in consideration your feelings when he said, when you took these vows. And I just, I think it's a lot more complex. And it's just something you kind of grow into, you know what I mean? Whether you're dating and find out, you know what I mean? That's cheating and that's a shortcut. Trying to find that out. So, I mean, if I knew it, I would tell you. I don't know the answer to the question.
I'm just saying from our perspectives, I guess.
I don't know if you're supposed to have, well, you're not supposed to have sex before marriage. I don't know the answer of lack of sexual chemistry in a marriage or the stresses it comes to being duty bound physically, or like, you know, your man won't work or your wife won't work. You know what I mean? Like, how do you get your wife to go to work? You know what I mean? Right. Or how do you get your husband to get up off his butt and go to work? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can build chemistry though when you first get married. I mean, my thing with dating, you can build that when you get married. You just, both of y'all have to understand that, you know, you have to build that. Like I said, a lot of stuff is really in your mind, man. It's all about your mind, so how you condition your mind. You can create an unrealistic mindset from dating, depending on how you date, your method of dating. You can create
And okay, so your past expectations for your taste that you developed for dating got your marriage expectations unrealistic. Or you can never have sex in your life or physical intimacy, and then you can think it's going to be all grand. Then you get married and it's not, you know what I mean? The birds didn't chirp.
And that's called...
You didn't see the bright unrealistic. But you don't know you're being unrealistic because you've never had sex. Only thing you have is this expectation. And then now you got Jake the Snake. You know what I mean? What you can't do anything because you're not supposed to have sex, but have assumptions about what your wedding night is going to be like. You know what I mean? and being, you know what I mean, Bob the Builder, just come, breaking down doors, and it's like, well, this is not what Cinderella described, you know what I mean?
And I think this things like that is, you would hope that somebody have like somebody around them that could counsel them to kind of get them reined in. Like, I don't think you could be totally prepared for living with another person that you committed to, but it's some things somebody give you pointers to kind of get you pointed in the right direction. But it's still gonna take those two people to kind of work to be on that same page on how they solve problems and stuff like that. Because everybody's different, you know what I'm saying, as far as things, problems and stuff you're gonna have. So
yeah, I can, I would, like approach the problem logically. Hey, Wednesday night gonna be practice night. We know this is a time we're gonna set out for each other. Well, I don't like being on the schedule. We have to put time aside for us to do whatever we're gonna do to try to feel
patience, right?
Yeah, and exactly. So you got to
so you don't have to be patient. You don't have to be patient when you're dating. You're like, you don't want to be on the schedule, okay? But
you don't have
when you're married to somebody,
you don't have to be. You don't have to be any. Like, God gives us free will. You don't have to be anything on anything.
But if you want to be successful, you have to be some things. You want to be successful.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
No. The same thing in dating. You don't have to do nothing. But if you want that relationship to work, whether it's dating, courtship, marriage, matter of fact, with your kids, because you don't have to take care of your kids. But if you want to love them and they want them to be healthy, productive members of society, possibly get into heaven, you're going to have to do some things. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
But we want results, but we don't want conflict. We don't want work. We don't want struggle. We don't want adversity. But we want, these benefits and those rewards and things like that.
Yeah.
Because some people I've heard some people, I've been good all my life. I deserve a little freedom. I deserve to sin now.
All right. Go to that tank. Maybe I deserve.
I'm listening to people say this, Christian people, I've been good so long, I deserve to let my heart, like, sin is some type of reward. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? When I get to heaven, it's going to be some kind of orgy or something like, what? Like, sin is the best of the best in your mind. You know what I mean? God is keeping you away from sin.
Well, you sound like Vampire in Brooklyn, man. You sound like Vampire in Brooklyn right now.
It's good.
You sound like Vampire.
Hey, if you will be a real good Christian, one day you will be able to sin too. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
But man, I'm gonna let you. I think I held you a long time. We went over a little time, but
it's all good. Well, we're gonna link back up, man. Talk about on the podcast, man.
For sure.
Got to get you on here, man, because I know you was tied up last time, so I'm gonna mess with him when he come on here, man. So, but yeah, let us know in the comments, guys, what you think about this, man. Once again, this was just a conversation, a debate, but we kind of like Skip and Shannon. I don't know which one which. I don't know who won which. Make a change either day. But yeah, guys, we had to talk about that, man, because sometimes life can be related to sports. I got you, Jermaine. I got you, man. I got you. My wife said in the beginning of our marriage, my emotions clashed with my husband's logic. Caused significant issues. However, through our efforts to love each other the way God loves us, our marriage has greatly improved. Thanks, Bishop and First Lady. That is true.
Well, thank you again, Ashley, for your transparency
on that. I think for me, I had to talk to her and tell her how I think, though. What is my logic, though? And I think that's why I didn't do good first time we got married. I had to really, I'm thinking this. This is what I'm thinking. A, B, C, D. This is what I'm thinking. And at first, it do sound kind of weird to talk to a 30-year-old. He's telling you, he's coming at you from a foresight kind of perspective. You think somebody older would come at you like that, you know what I'm saying? So, I had to think about that. That is a little weird. I need to tell her how I'm thinking. So that communication piece, man, is real, man. You know what I'm saying?
And another thing too, and he's been my friend for a long time, so I know how he thinks and how he communicates. So I don't take anything he says personally. I'm just kind of really see only the message, not his delivery, and I don't question where he's coming from. So when you have understanding people around you, when he got his wife, he he would imagine, oh, she thinks that she knows where I'm coming from. And it's like, that's not the case. He had to go back and explain that to her, like, this is where I'm coming from. This is what I'm thinking. I don't mean to be rude or disrespectful. So I had to do the same thing early in my marriage as well, because I just say stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, I think me talking right now is very censored and kind of confined.
Both of them, I think, is very.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I'm like, you know, I mean, like, you're my wife. I'm talking to you the most direct way I think I can get my point across. And I'm talking to other people that she cares about, maybe a little too like rough or dry, or I said something, and you know, she had to say, "Hey, well, I understand where you were coming from, but my friends don't, or my friends or my family don't respond to people talking like this." I'm like, "Well, was I disrespectful? No, but you told the truth in a aggressive way. You know what I mean, or maybe too aggressive. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But you know, like, thanks again, Ashley, for that.
Yeah, but guys, let us know if you enjoyed this conversation, and we'll do it next time on our podcast. So, but yeah, we're finna get ready to sign out this thing because I know it's 9. I don't know how you feeling, but I know I'm getting sleepy, man. So,
what?
But
My
yeah, we
being here like this.
But yeah, man, definitely, man. We're gonna bring the young bull, White Out Tremel on here, man. He said invite him next time, man.
For sure, brother.
Get the young bull on here. But yeah, guys, we finna sign out, man. Like, share, subscribe. Anything you want to say before we sign out, bro?
No.
All right, guys, we are signing out.